Hi, in this chapter 11, we will learn about developing and managing products. There are three learning objectives. The first is to understand the different types of products, the different ways in which new products can be classified. The second learning objective is to understand the process of new product development. And the third is to understand the product life cycle, which helps lay out how new products diffuse or are adopted in the marketplace. So let's start with what is a new product. So we've talked about this in the course up until now in the semester. And a new product is anything that is new to the world. We usually think of a brand new technology product that we've never seen before as a new product, but a new product can also be new to the market, new to the company, or any combination. So take a look at this example here. So I hope everyone knows what Tesla is. It's an electric all-charged car. I would argue that this is a new product. Take a moment to think, what kind of a new product? Is it new to the world, new to the market, new to the seller, or some combination? So I'll pause for a couple of seconds. And so if you guessed it's new to the world product, yes, you're right. Tesla was the first of its kind of an all-electric car that was commercially produced and available in the commercial market. Look at this next example. I hope everyone knows what this is. It's a K-cup that's used in a Keurig machine. We looked at when we did the topic on segmentation on how the Keurig company has segmented the coffee brewing at home market based on usage rate. So these are K-cups that are used in a Keurig machine. Again, think about what kind of a new product is this? New to the world, new to the market, new to the seller, or some combination? So take a moment, think about it. And again, you are right if you answered new to the world. Keurig was a breakthrough innovation, and the K-cups are a complementary product and therefore new to the world. So several different categories that new products can be classified into. Most of these terminologies should look now familiar to you since we covered most of these terms last week when we did the topic on product strategy. You should know the terms product line, product items, repositioning, product mix, and so see how now all of those terms are getting used in additional conversations that marketers have about new products. So let's look at a few examples for each one. And again, your textbook gives you a brief narrative about each type of new product. So a new product line that Pantene is launching, and you can tell that there are 8 different product items in this new product line, which is Pantene Expert Collection. Here is an example of an improvement revision of an existing product, right? So the bug repellent is an existing product, but Avon is adding this additional ingredient here, picaridine, or an insect repellent, that boosts the effectiveness of that product. Here's an example of a product line addition. So the Toyota Prius line has been in existence for a few years now for the company Toyota, but by adding a plug-in hybrid, that's a new line item or a product item getting added on to an existing product line. Look at this example for reposition products, and we talked about this again last week with the Old Spice example. Pepsi Propel decided that they were going to differentiate themselves from their other sport brand, which is Gatorade, which is also owned by Pepsi, that had primarily focused on males and females maybe 25 and older. And so in order to differentiate themselves from more of the youth-oriented brands like Vitamin Water and Sobe, Propel decided to shift its focus to routine exercises, as you can see, as their target market. So somebody who works out at home or in the neighborhood gym, or somebody who goes out for a run, or somebody who is using the treadmill in their own home, right? Or in their office gym. So look at how Pepsi decided to reposition its Propel brand of workout water by targeting a different segment. A last kind of a new product can be a lower price product. So Bounty was already a market leader in the disposable paper towel segment, but a few years ago when they launched Bounty Basic, that was just a new lower priced product alternative. And so since it was a different product, it became a new product for the seller. So just like anything else in marketing, there's always a process, and new product development also has a process, and it's made up of several different steps. Again, your chapter in the textbook gives you a really nice narrative for each step, but I will briefly review it here in the presentation. The first step is to get the idea, and as you can see from the slide, there are several different sources of generating the idea. A lot of times ideas come from watching your competition or from the R&D department, which is research and development. Sometimes ideas also come from employees or customers. So look at this example of this consumer product company, and as you can tell in the right-hand side, right here on the corner, you can see that they have a submission option on their website where anybody from the public can submit an idea and it can become a success story for the company. Look at this, another great example of Lay's Potato Chip, which is a brand owned by Pepsi, how they're leading this initiative for getting the idea generation. So every year they run this submit your idea about what should be the next flavor of the potato chip, and whoever is the winner wins $1 million, right? And these are $3 million finalists from last year. The next step is idea screening. So anything that's inconsistent with the company's new product strategy would then get eliminated from the core idea subset. The third step is to do a business analysis. So once you've screened your new product ideas, that is when you would want to do some projections of the cost, of how profitable the idea will be, what the preliminary demand will look like. The fourth step is to develop the new idea, and this is where you work on your marketing plan. You look at the technical production feasibility. What additional machinery will I need? Do I need some government approvals in order to market this new product? The next step is to do a test marketing, and a lot of times small companies don't have the budget to do a test market. This is where the company does a soft launch or a limited introduction of a new product in a small geographical territory to see if the product is successful. And if it is, then it decides to do a nationwide launch of the new product. So look at this example. This is from last summer. McDonald's tested a kale breakfast bowl in Southern California. Obviously, since we didn't see this nationwide, we know that this was a test market where the results were not therefore successful, and therefore McDonald's did not do a nationwide launch of this breakfast bowl throughout the country. The sixth step in the new product development is, and the last step is commercialization. So if all the results look really promising, the company then does a commercial rollout, and this is where the distribution is built, the inventory is built up, announcements, customer advertising happens, and all the sales training is put into place. So once a new product is launched into the market, the process that leads to the success of the new product is called diffusion, and that is where the new product or the innovation is being embraced or adopted by the consumer. The new product is never adopted almost entirely on the first day that is introduced. So there are 5 different categories of adopters or customers, and you should again take a read in the textbook about how innovators are different than early adopters and so on. So there is a very sort of gradual process of diffusion by which a new product gets adopted in the market. And the success of that adoption depends on these 5 different characteristics: how complex the product is, how compatible the new product is with the one that the customer was previously using, the relative advantage or the additional benefit of the new product versus the older one, the observability, which means can I see the benefits of the new product, and trialability, which means can I sample the new product. So 5 different. The last slide talks about the product life cycle, and this is a very important concept in marketing because this traces the stages of the new product success or its diffusion into the marketplace from the time it's introduced, which is the birth, to the time it declines, which is the death period. So let's look at the product life cycle, and you will refer to this concept over and over again in the course and throughout sort of your career when you work in the area of marketing. So the product life cycle is similar to a human life cycle. It's divided into 4 stages. Everybody should see that. Introductory, growth, maturity, and decline. And then there are 2 line curves that you see on the graph, right? The x-axis is the time, the y-axis is the dollar or the revenue. The red curve is the profit curve, the blue is the sales revenue curve. So let's look at the introductory stage. That is the stage where the product is getting launched, right? So you can see that at time 1, the year 1 when the product gets launched, the sales revenue increases at a linear fashion, which means more and more products are getting sold. However, the company is not making a profit almost throughout the introductory stage. And that's indicative of the introductory stage because it's during this time that the company is trying to recover all the fixed investments that it made to launch the new product. In the growth stage, you see again the revenue climbing as well as the profits, but the profits start to flatten out towards late growth. In maturity, both curves have started to flatten out, which means the product is not growing at the same fashion in which it was growing in the introductory and growth stage. And most of the consumer products now in the American marketplace are in the maturity stage. The decline stage is where the revenue and the profits both start to decline, and the company has to make a decision of whether they will reposition the product to move it back into the maturity stage, or they will divest or get rid of the product. Right? So the product life cycle is a very important concept that marketing managers use in making decisions and planning about how the promotion, how the price of the product, etc. should change as the product is changing its status from one phase of the life cycle to the next. So it's a very interesting concept. I hope that you will think a little bit more about it, read a little bit more about it in the textbook. And we can talk more about it or discuss it more at our next class session. Thank you for your attention, and that's all on this topic.